Hello friends, it's Sunshine and my co-host Butter today, and welcome to my studio. Now, the reason I have Butter with me today is because our episode is all about sloths. And he's a sloth, yeah. So we did an awesome time lapse on Twitch the other day of a really cute sloth, so I thought it'd be really fun to share with you guys. So without any further ado, let's go create our sloth. You ready, Butter? Yeah, he's ready. So let's start creating our sloth. I'm pretty pumped about doing today's episode actually. I've tried to draw sloths in the past, but they have absolutely failed miserably. I'm not sure why. Perhaps because the character or the creature itself is so cute, and it's really difficult to translate that cuteness into a character. I'm feeling pretty good about this one. It's not exactly how I was imagining it. Like, it doesn't feel 100% right, but I feel a lot better about this one than I ever have in the past. So I'm going to take it as a win. I'm sure I'll try again in a couple of years' time to do another sloth, and that one will be even closer to the perfect sloth. So when I was researching sloths, which I research all the things that I paint, they're actually really interesting and really fascinating animals. Sloth fact number 1. Now, without sloths, we actually wouldn't have avocados because there used to be giant ground sloths and they were the only things big enough to digest the avocado seeds. And so they would walk along and disperse the avocado seeds far and wide, which is very cool because I like avocados a lot. Now, I think our little sloth needs a story because you guys know that I love making up stories for my little characters, and our sloth is no different. Once upon a time, there was a little sloth called Butter. He was a bit of a sad sloth, particularly at the moment, because he feels like he doesn't fit in. Butter's dreams and aspirations are to become a fireman. And it's a little bit tricky because sloths don't really become firemen. There's not much call for it in the forest. Usually the fireman positions are all taken up by the gorillas and things, the things with opposable thumbs. So the scene that we're looking at is our Butter the sloth looking a little bit sad and sorry for himself, to be perfectly honest. He's dreaming about all the things that he could do as a fireman and all the other animals he could save. Not to mention having a nice red shiny hat, because everyone loves a shiny hat. Right, you ready? Sloth fact number 2. Sloths are actually 3 times stronger than us because they need to grab onto branches away from predators. They also sleep upside down, and sometimes after they die, they still stay upside down, squished onto the tree. So let's start talking about our time lapse now, because we've started quite a bit and we're a fair way into it. So we've actually nearly finished the body of our little sloth Butter. So he's got some very cute little pink cheeks, some very cute sensitive eyes, and he's kind of lying there like, woe is me, and flopped over the branch. At this stage, I'm quite happy with our character. I think he's very cute, and I think the facial expression that we've come up with for him is very appropriate to his situation. Sloth fact number 3. Woo! Sloths are actually much faster in water than they are on land because they've got 2 extra vertebrae. It actually allows them to keep their head well above the water as they swim along, which is very cool to know. Now, our background is looking quite schmick at the moment, if I do say so myself. Like, we've got a nice light green in the center of that background with the blue coming out to the edges. Now, the reason I did this is because I want the sloth to be the main focal point. So as a viewer, I want your eyes to be taken directly to our sloth rather than the background. And so having a lighter on the inside and then darker on the outside of that background helps do this. Our eyes are instantly drawn to our little sloth in the tree, which is great because he is adorable. So I'm taking my time building up the layers in this tree because I do want it quite detailed. So I've got 3 different kinds of browns that I'm using. I've got a yellow ochre, I've got a mid brown and a dark brown. So I'm coming over with each of the browns in a slightly different way to create more of a 3D effect on our tree. And that's looking pretty good. It's doing exactly what I want. When you first look at the image, you're drawn straight to our sloth and our tree, and the background is pushed out behind, which is perfect. This is definitely something that I'm slowly getting better at, bringing the foreground to the front and pushing the background to the back so we know where we're looking at. It's all working on perspective, and perspective is definitely something that I've struggled with my whole artistic career. I think I'm starting to get better. Sloth fact number 4! Sloths can actually poop out 1/3 of their body weight in one go, which is crazy. Now, they have really weird bathroom habits, which means they only go to the toilet once a week, and during that toilet time, yep, 1/3 of their body weight is gone. Super gross. Our little butter here was actually created as an art promptapalooza on Twitch. And I feel like I've talked about this before, but if you haven't come to our art promptapalooza yet and you love doing art and drawing and all kinds of arty stuff, come and join us. We have a wonderful time. We have a Discord channel as well where we share all of our artworks that we create together, and even artworks that we don't create together, so you can share your own artwork on there as well. It's just so nice having a group of people creating things along with me. I don't know why, but it's just very satisfying to know that there's others doing their own thing at the same time that you're creating. It's just really lovely. So if you get a chance, come join us for our Art Promptapalooza on a Friday night. It's a good time. And finally, fact number 5. So, sloth fact number 5 is no one actually knows how long a sloth can live for, because we've never been able to study them from birth to death in the wild. We've only been able to study them in captivity, and the longest living sloth in captivity is 50 years old. So who knows how long they live for? Alrighty, so our artwork is nearly done. I'm just currently doing our little birds flapping around. I've got one blue bird and one purple bird, so they stand out a little bit better against that background. And our tree's looking really magnificent with lots of little leaves on it now, and our last layer of brown has been applied. It's just looking really lovely. Now during this artwork, I wanted to use some fine liners to outline our little birds there, but I really struggled to find one that would work properly. Eventually I did find one. It just seems to be the watercolor paper really soaks up the ink and stops working within a couple of seconds on the watercolor paper. But we got there eventually, which is awesome because I think the fine liner definitely brought out the birds really well. Okay, so I'm putting on my very last little bits and pieces now to just bring him out from that background. So we've outlined, we've added atmospheric dots, we've just added all the little bits and pieces that make an artwork go from good to great. I think our sloth has turned out super cute, guys. I am really pleased with him. He actually turned out a lot better than I expected. And there we go, we have our sloth. Yay! Thanks so much for joining me today, everybody. I hope you enjoyed creating the sloth with me. As usual, if you want to see more of my work, you can find me on Instagram and Facebook. And if you'd like to join me on Twitch, I am still twitching twice a week, 8:30 on a Wednesday and a Friday, Australian Eastern Standard Time. We would absolutely love to see you there. So as I say, that is it. Please stay safe, everybody. Look after each other and keep on painting. Bye.